संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
जय श्री कृष्णा। Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Let me at the outset bow down to all my gurus, especially Param Pujya Swami Guru Govind Giridevji Ji Maharaj. A warm welcome to all the sadhakas who have assembled here for the interpretation session of second part of 18th chapter named Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. We all are really blessed to be associated with Geeta Parivar. You are going to complete L4 very soon. Hope and wish you all have chosen some seva to do in our Geeta Parivar. Prayer is considered to be an integral part of our culture, and it's an expression of our devotion. And today, Chandrika Barchaji from Jamnagar, at present in Africa, is going to recite the Arambha Pratana. Didi is a homemaker and loves singing, learning Sanskrit reading, and she is a postgraduate. Didi is giving seva as a technical assistant and joined Geeta Parivar in June 2021. Let's invoke the blessings of Lord Krishna. Chandrika Didi, please. दीदी आपको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा, आप म्यूट में हैं। या बोलिए बोलिए।
वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। जय श्री कृष्ण।
Thank you, Didi, for that melodious prayer. Now it's time for Deepa Prajwalan. Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhana sampada, shatru buddhi vinashaya, Deepa jyotir namostute. That means, I bow down to the light of the lamp, which brings wellness, health and prosperity and destroys enemies and bad thoughts. I bow down again and again to the light. May I request Arunima Singh Didi from Delhi NCR to do the honors of Deepa Prajwalan. Didi is an advocate and joined Geeta Parivar in May 2022 and is doing seva as a group coordinator. Didi, please.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां, वरदां शारदां नुमः।
Thank you, Didi, for a devotional and beautiful Deepa Prajwalan. I would like to inform all the participants that you may ask questions once the session is over. Please raise your hands only after the session is over. Now, it's time for the most anticipated part of this session. Our speaker for the day is Senior Trainer of Geeta Parivar, Shraddha ji Raodeo. She is a native of Nagpur and now residing in Hyderabad. Didi is an electronic engineer and has a postgraduate diploma in IT systems and management. Didi was a mobile application developer and a team leader for over 13 years. Shraddha Didi has been conducting Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā classes at her residence for more than 9 years. She has been associated with Nagpur Geeta Parivar and is a disciple of Swamiji Govinda Dev Giriji Maharaj. Didi joined as a co-trainer in online Geeta classes since August 2020. Didi is in various teams in Geeta Parivar and is an L4 trainer and trainer for Bhopal jail class where sadhaks have completed Jigyasu exam. That's great, Didi. You have done a wonderful job. Didi is giving seva as a trainer, examiner, vivechak and heading class monitoring team. Didi is associated with Balagokulam, Hyderabad from over 8 years to inculcate Indian values and Hindu scriptures in kids over 5 years of age. Over to you, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna Mala Didi, thank you so much for that introduction. But everything is happening under Krishna Kripa. Thank you so much. We all are volunteers and pranam to you for this great seva that you are also giving. Jai Shri Krishna. So welcome all of you. Let us first go down to Guruji and Shri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanina Swayam Vyasena Krathitam Puranamunam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad-Gītā Bhavatveshini. Om Shri Gurave Namah. A very warm welcome to the session, all of you. It's a pleasure to see you all again for the second session of 18th chapter interpretation. We all are in the last chapter of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, which is a saransh, a summary of all that Shri Krishna has told so far. Everything, right from the Karma Yoga, all the confusion that Arjun had, has been re-clarified in this entire chapter. So we'll be going through all the basic principles and understanding them all over again. And it's going to be a very interesting thing because, see, Bhagavad Gita is something we won't remember in one instance, isn't it? We have to keep remembering, keep revising. And this is Ekadhyayi Gita. In the last revision session, we had discussed, Sri Yaneshwar Maharaj calls it an Ekadhyayi Gita. So by reading this entire chapter, you will get the same fruit, the same results of what you would get by reading all the 18 chapters of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. Beautiful chapter, and we have started this. So we all know that the Bhagavad Gita had ended at the 15th chapter and the remaining chapter came as Parishisht, that is appendix. And here Shri Krishna was asked a very important question by Arjun. What is the difference between sannyas and tyag? This is a very critical, very important question, and Shri Krishna also open-heartedly started telling the whole knowledge again. And we had seen a very important question from Arjuna. Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha prathak keshirishudana. On this question, Shri Krishna has first given four important views of different people. What were those four views? Kamyanam karmananyasam, in distinction of the sannyas and tyag, he has explained. First view was that kamyanam karmananyasam. Then second was sarva karma phalatyagam. Whatever is the fruit of the karma that you give, leave it, renounce it, that is tyaga. Then tyajyam doshavadyeke, the karma itself, that whatever work we do itself is doshavad, means it is polluted. It is inherent quality is creating rakas. So let us give up the karma only. These are the this one. Another one was yajna danaka tapakarma natyajamiti chapari. So these four views were given by whom? By different scholars. By different scholars, these four views were given. And Shri Krishna, finally, after discussing all these things, gave his decisive opinion. Nishchayam shrunme tatra. What was his decisive view? That these three tasks, yajna, dana, tapa, these should not be given up under any circumstances. These have to be done. Why? Because they are responsible for upliftment of a human being. And under no circumstances should these three be left. While we were discussing this, then what are the reasons why people end up doing a tyag or end up renouncing their own karma, that we were discussing. And the first one we had discussed what? Mohat. There is a class of people who give up their duties. Why? Moha tasya parityaga. Why? They give up out of greed, out of attachment to certain things. We have seen this is very easily understood by, thinking why sometimes, some people will leave their family. We've seen certain cases for a person turning monk. If he really wants to become a monk, that is a good thing. But there could be reasons like, oh, then I don't have to, take care of family, just go sit in an ashram nicely. That was a greed for that particular type of a lifestyle. Or a gruhini or a housewife thinking, oh, let me just watch my mobile, moha towards the attachment to the mobile and not doing the task that is expected out of her. These kinds of things are tyamasa tyag. Tyamas is, we have seen the three gunas, Rajogun, Sattvagun, and Tamogun. So this kind of tyag, this kind of renunciation comes from Tamogun, which is definitely not desirable. We have to come over it. Then second one was Rajasa tyag. It was out of deha klesha, klesh that will come to the deha, means the pain that will come to the body. It was dukkhamittyeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayatyajit, because I fear that there will be some pain that I will have to undergo. We give up the task itself. When do we get to see this? Even at home, people want to do puja, but what they'll tell the Panditji, there's too much smoke because of that yajna that you will be doing. Please keep it short. That kind of request they'll make. So they are scared of what? Kaya klesha. The pain that the body will undergo. Everybody doing Ekadashi Vrata is very good, but nowadays people, humse to nahi hota. We are not able to sustain hunger. We cannot stay like that. That is what some people end up saying. That is again kaya klesha bhayatyajit. So certain things which are so expected out of you, which should be done, are given up. Why? Because we are scared of the effort, the pain that our body will undergo. And after that came the Satvik Tyag, the 9th shlok, very important. We'll go through it again. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatang kriyate jana sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyagas satviko mataha. In the three types of tyag that Shri Krishna has explained us, the third one is the Satvik Tyag, which originates out of what? Satvik Gun. Now, this is a very important one. Swamiji says of this one shlok also, if we understand, our life will be, set. We will be uplifted for many, many janma. Shri Krishna tells one very important fact in this. Karyam iti eva yat karma. Duty itself is the karma. In that case, they don't think whether it is going to be a painful thing for me, whether it is going to cause any problem. Am I, leaving something to undergo this duty, undergo this task, undergo this work that I'm planning to do? We have recently celebrated Ramanavami. We all know Sri Ram was asked to go in exile for 14 years. What was his niyata karma? To follow the orders that his mother has given, to follow, help his father keep up the promises that he has given to his mother. And in that, he didn't think, oh my God, he's a prince, used to such good lavish lifestyle, renouncing everything, giving up everything to stay in the forest. Not even a moment, not even a small iota of doubt he had about getting that task done. Without any hesitation, without any resistance, he went ahead and fulfilled his duties. Why? Karyam iti eva karma. That itself is my duty. There is no other important thing. My dharma is my karma, it is my karya. That was the kind of belief that he had. What was it? Whatever dharma is, what is expected out of you, what is right for you. That itself is his karma, that itself is his duty, and his duty itself is his work. So we have seen this. What it says, karyam ityeva yat karma. Important next part is niyatam kriyate arjuna. What is this niyata karma? Last time we had also seen these 5 types of karma. Amongst that we had discussed niyata karma. Niyata karma, that is which is chosen for you. I am a mother of 2 kids, niyata karma. I'm expected to fulfill the duties of a mother. We all are students of Bhagavad-Gītā. What is expected out of sadhak? That is our niyata karma. Whatever is chosen for you, whatever is chosen by you. A teacher is expected to teach. No matter what, teaching to its full capacity, teaching to his full capacity. A soldier on the borders of our country, his duty is to protect the country at any cost. Now, if a teacher decides one day, I will go on the border with a rifle, is it going to help? He will not be able to work as a soldier. If the soldier one day decides, I'm tired of this, I will go in some college and start giving lectures, is it going to work? No, niyata karma. What is correct for you, what is appropriate for you, what is chosen by you, what is meant for you, that we have to focus on. That should be duly achieved. And how should that be achieved? So, 2 important things. One, we do our duties as if it is the only thing left to do. That is there is no doubt that that is the priority, high priority thing. Second, niyata karma, my own task. See, there are some people who have the habit, see, this is my job, but we are more interested in doing, I wish I was doing that. That thing will never happen for a satvik tyagi. And how is this being done? Sangan tyaktva phalain cheva. This term itself is very important. There are 2 preconditions to fulfilling this job. What is it? First is sangan tyaktva. Means you have to give up the attachment to the task. And phalain cheva. Phal, that is the result also. So we do not think what will happen. When Sri Ramji went in exile, he didn't think what my body will go through. Will I get food? Will I get a home to live? How will Sita ji live there? No. We will, whatever is the fruit, I'm not bothered. I'm losing the entire kingdom, that also not bothered. What is it? Sangan tyaktva, no attachment, only no attachment to what is being done. Also out of that, he didn't expect, oh, people should praise me. No, nothing. Sangan tyaktva phalain cheva. Whatever, some people develop that sense of attachment towards the tasks also. So suppose, you're working as a manager and you are transferred to some other branch. You feel, oh, I'm losing this post, that fear of losing the post, that our task itself becomes so important. We start identifying ourselves towards this task. That should not happen. How people talk about it. I am the manager of so and so. That their attachment to the post, that is not expected. Geeta ji tells us what, whenever a task is given to you, now that itself is your task. A person who is a satvik tyagi will never leave his karma for what is going to, what for any kind of attachment to the task. So he was supposed to be a king, but without having that attachment to being a king, he just left and did the next karma which was meant for him. So what is renounced is not the karma, not the task, but the result. What will be the fruit of that they are not bothered. So these are the two things which are expected to be given up. And then it is my duty. See, once there is this conversation, very interesting conversation between Yudhishthira and Draupadi about dharma. So once Draupadi ji asked, see, you have been always following dharma. We have always followed dharma. But Duryodhana is an adharmi. He is never followed what is the right and what is wrong. And we are in, so this is when they were in exile. Sorry. And we are suffering so much, and he is lavishly, happily sitting in the palaces. Why so? Yudhishthira said, this question itself is baseless. This question itself is wrong. How can you think like that? This is our dharma. We have to follow. This is what was decided. This is my dharma. I have to keep up my words. There is no question of what we are suffering. This is out of question. What we are suffering, how we are living. We have to do means you have to do. Then there is no concept of what is the fruit, whether we'll be going through any pain in the exile. It's baseless. He is doing what he is doing. He is another. It's not expected out of him itself. But we are followers of dharma. My karma itself is what is expected out of me. I don't understand this concept of undergoing the pain. This is our duty. There is no question of what I'm getting by following the duties that I'm expected to follow. This is Satvik Tyag. Further, Shri Krishna continues. Till now, he has explained what are the three types of Tyag. Tamasi Tyag, Rajasi Tyag, and Satvik Tyag. Now he's telling us the qualities. What are the qualities of a Satvik Tyagi? We all have to ultimately become what? Satvik in all ways. Whichever aspect of our personality is being discussed, whether it is Tyag, Jnana, Karma, being a Karta, being a doer, whatever it is, in all parameters we have to be driven by Sattva Gun. So to be there, we have to first understand what are the qualities of a Satvik Tyagi. Tyagi is a renunciation, the relinquisher who's ready giving up. In which way? Satvik way. Okay. So he tells the characteristics. Tadveshtya kushalam karma kushalena nushajyate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshayah. What is the first thing? Nadveshtya kushalam karma. What does it mean? Nadveshti akushalam karma. Nadveshti. Dvesh is what? Hatred. Akushala. Now there are two types of tasks. When do you feel like giving up tasks? First, let us discuss that. When do you feel like not doing something? When the task is not favorable. When you don't like the task. When do you don't like the task? When it is either difficult to do, or it is not rewarding enough to do, or we don't have any expertise in it. These are all akushal. Akushal means unfavorable task. So here he is telling akushal means unfavorable task. Whatever is unfavorable, na dveshtya kushalam, I will not hate those tasks. For instance, now when a newlywed lady is coming into the house, never cooked in their entire life earlier, now all of a sudden has to cook for 10 people, doesn't like to cook, but she will still do it. Why? Because it is her duty. If she starts saying, this is akushal karma for me, and starts hating and not doing it, is it going to sustain in a family? No. Na dveshti akushalam karma. No matter whether they like the task or they don't like the task, they will be doing. And kushalam na anushajyate. Anushajyate means it not attached. Being attached to something is anushajyate. Kushale means Kushala is agreeable one, a favorable job. What could be favorable job? Which is very easy to do, where we have an expertise and which are also rewarding. These are all Kushal. Suppose here there is an event being organized. Now there are so many things that goes into the organization of event. There will be somebody who's going to manage the stage. There is somebody who's doing the backstage work. There is somebody who's going to do the lighting, invitations, and all these things. Now there are some people who will feel, I will do only the task in which I am visible, which is very easy, which is also visible, where people will come to know that I have done the task. But doing whatever is required to make that event successful, that we should be doing. We should not be choosing, oh, this is unfavorable. Who will do the lighting job? Nobody will even come to know that I have done this task. And I don't even have an expertise in it. Let me not do it. Not having expertise, letting the right person do it, that is another thing. But not doing it because it is not favorable is not desirable from a person. So this kind of the Tyagi, Sattvic Tyagi, will not hate any task just because it is not favorable, and he will not be, very attached to any task. There are some people, no, I will do that only. No, I don't want to do the other task. You do this, there is so many people to do that other task. No, I want to do that task only. Attachment to a particular task. That is Kushale na anushajyate. The person should not be very attached to the task. Naturally, there is a resistance for a kushal task, unfavorable task. We are all working, we all sustain our houses, we all keep a balance in the houses. There are some days when the maid only doesn't turn up. The person who gives services at our home doesn't turn up. It is our kushala karma, because we all, it's little boring to do, not that we are not capable of doing our kushal karma, but we should not have hatred towards it. This is a common tendency of a man. We have to give it up. So what Shri Krishna says, Shri Krishna, this is the tendency of common people, to hate the akushal task, that is unfavorable task, and be attached to the favorable task. What Shri Krishna says, intelligent people, the word that is used here is medhavi. Medhavi is chinna samshaya. They will not have an iota of doubt about these tasks, whether it is akushal, whether it is favorable, whether it is unfavorable. In all circumstances, they will not hate or disregard the tasks which are difficult to do. They will not hate or disregard an unrewarding task. They will, no matter what, they will just do it. What are the two things we have to remember? Nadveshti akushalam karma, kushale na anushajyate. They will not be attached. They will not remain attached to the tasks that are favorable. So I like this task, I will just keep doing this. No. Gradually, what happens? You let other people do the task. Gradually, your attachment with that task will decrease. If only one person is doing the same tasks for many years, what will happen? He will get attached to that task, and that attachment will increase, and ultimately it will become very difficult for him to become a Sattvic Tyagi. Gnaneshwar Maharaj gives a very beautiful example for this. We all know gardens, how will a gardener irrigate the plants in the garden? He will dig, a canal is dig around the garden through which the water is flowing. Now the gardener knows which plant needs more water. Sometimes he will change the path of that canal. He'll block the canal from one side and let it flow from the other side. In that case, what happens to the water? It will flow in the direction where it is expected to flow. Without any resistance, happily it is flowing, irrigating all the plants in the way. It is not resisting the blockages. Now, if it is blocked from one side, allowed to flow from the other side so it can irrigate the other plants, how it is behaving? Not attached to one particular thing, but flowing in whichever way it is expected to flow. That kind of work is done by a Sattvic Tyagi. They will not be attached to their tasks and to the fruits of the task. This kind of tyagi is driven by what? He is driven by sattva gun. We have to understand here one thing. When we discuss the tamasi tyag, that was driven by tamo gun. So what will be the result of that kind of tyag? We have learned urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. We have learned this in chapter 14. Madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganya guna pratishtha. So this thing we have to understand what will happen, because the tamasi tyag, there will be a downfall if by doing these tasks. Madhye tishtanti rajasaha. No matter if the rajas tyag is done, there is no upliftment, and you will not even go down. We will stay wherever we are. We are all on a spiritual journey. No matter what, we will stay wherever we are. But only by following this kind of attitude of sattvic tyagi, there is upliftment for us. This kind of karta, this kind of job is being done by whom? See, only when we analyze some personality in front of us, we understand. Understanding the traits is fine. But when you see somebody who has imbibed these qualities in themselves, then we understand the things better. So who is somebody who has done this in the best possible way? Recently, we celebrated Hanuman Jayanti. You all, I assume, must have seen the beautiful function, beautiful event we had 2 days back at Geeta Parivar also. Such a beautiful event we had at Hanuman Jayanti. We all worshipped Hanumanji, and we have celebrated Hanuman Jayanti. We have to learn from his life how a job should be done. Did Hanumanji have any post in the Shri Ram's Sena? No. But without him, no task could be accomplished there. He is the prime person on whom Shri Ram is dependent for getting all things accomplished. But no post, no attachment. Whatever is being told to him, he will do. Unless he is being told to do, he will not do. There are many instances of Ramayana, we will not get into those details, but unless Hanumanji is being told, he is the most powerful, strongest, one of the strongest person in the army of Shri Ram. And whatever is being told, whatever is being given as an instruction, only that he will do. He didn't show off his power, I can do. He never asked, no, this is a strong one, I can handle it. No, whatever is being instructed to him, he has done. Our Swamiji says, Hanumanji was the greatest devotee and was the greatest of all the volunteers. We all should try to be Hanumans in our lives. He is the best doer in the one of the best examples of doers, kartas, that we will see around. So we should keep doing our tasks, our duties relentlessly. Now, while we are talking about our duties, the one giving up on the results, we have to really think about one question: is it really possible to live without doing anything? We are saying some people are giving up on their tasks, on their duties, on their karma. Is it really possible to live without doing anything? Shri Krishna says, Nahi deha brata shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshataha yastu karma phalatyagi satyagi tyabhidhiyate. Nahi deha brata shakyan. What is deha brata? Deha brata means people like us, ones who are living in the human form. For anybody who is living in this human form, is it possible to give up any tasks? It is impossible. We cannot. Even when you say, okay, I'll not do anything and sleep. Sleeping is task. If nothing you are doing, just breathing is also task. It is not possible to abandon any actions in this body. Living in this body, it is not possible to abandon any actions. Nahi deha bhrata shakyan tyaktum karmanya sheshataha. Karmani asheshataha. The word asheshataha here means completely giving up task is impossible for us. The same thing we have also seen in the 5th chapter. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jadutishtatya karmakrit. Not even for a minute a person can stay without doing any action. nahi kashchit kshanam api, not even for a moment you can live without doing a task. The same thing is being said in another word, nahi deha prata shakyan tyaktum karmanya sheshatah. Same thing is being told in two ways. First, in the previous chapter, what Shri Krishna has said, not even for a moment you can stay without doing actions. Here he is telling it is impossible to completely give up or abandon actions for anybody who is in a human form or in a living form. And yastu karma phalatyagi satyagi ityabhidhiyate. So what we can actually give up is karma phala. The only thing that can be given up is karma phala, but not the actions actually. So we will be doing something, sleeping, eating, studying, listening to Vivechan like you all are sitting here, or if not listening to Vivechan, Saturday evening, partying somewhere, whatever it is, but definitely doing something. We cannot leave doing the actions, but we can free ourselves from what? The results of these actions, the side effects of these actions. Can we do that? If I say, don't just say yes, we cannot to free ourselves from the results of the action. A simple action like eating, okay, is having some result on our body. A simple action like breathing is having some action, some result on our body. A simple action like sleeping, now it will have some action, some result, some impact, some side effect on our body. So it doesn't mean that whatever we do, we can live without bearing the fruits of our actions. Even the simplest of action is going to bear some fruits. We all are sitting and discussing the 18th chapter. This is also going to bear some fruit. What are these? What are the different types of fruits that one person reaps? What are the different types of results that a person gets out of this action? These are divided into couple of categories. Shri Krishna says, Anishtamishtam Mishraicha Trividham Karmanah Phalam Bhavatyatyāginām Pritya Natu Sanyasinām Kvachit. What are the different types of fruits that we get out of various actions? They can be of three types. Anishtamishtam Mishraicha. Anishta. Anishta, our simplest of actions, as I told you, will have three fruits. First one, anishta, means what? Undesirable. Something which we don't want. Eating junk food will have an undesirable impact, isn't it? So that is anishta phal. Then ishtam, which is desirable. If we want, we want to become healthier, reading good books, it will have what? Ishta, desirable, good fruit. Anishta, undesirable. Ishta, desirable. And mishrai, so mix of desirable and undesirable. So certain things, some part will be favorable, some will be unfavorable. Doing exercises and nowadays cardio, all that they're doing, so much fatigue, so much body pain, that is undesirable, but ultimately the result of all that effort is going to be good. So that is desirable. So it is a mix of desirable and undesirable. So that is mishram phal. So it is a mix of these two. So these are the three basic categories which are achieved by doing any actions. Now, these are achieved by whom? These are achieved by those who have not given up on that, desire of those results. This is slightly complicated to understand, but once you understand, this is very easy to, think about. Atyagi means, now see, for that, it's also important that we understand certain Sanskrit words nicely because they're very easy. Tyaga, it is relinquishing, giving up. Atyag will be not giving up. Now, a person who has not given up, has some expectations out of all the actions, is a atyagi. What Shri Krishna says, all these three types of fruits that we have discussed will be coming to whom? The one who has not given up on the expectations out of the results of his actions. And how will they get these fruits? First, Trividham Karmanah Phalam. Trividham Karmanah Phalam means these are the three types of fruit. Bhavatya Tyaginam Pritya What does it mean? The fruits that these three we are talking about, they will be attained in this birth on this earth. We are all in this, but now or later. Pretya means after death, in the next birth also. So whatever we are undergoing is not just result of what we have done in this birth, but also in the previous birth. So whatever fruits we all are getting are a result of what? Whether we have been able to give up on the expectations of fruits or not. And we are bearing it either in this birth or in the next birth. This is for whom? Atyagi. Every person who has not relinquished, who has not given up on the expectations, will be reaping these fruits from the action. They will undergo these consequences no matter what. Now, these consequences could be anything. Very important. Try to understand. If your action is good, the consequence is good. Even if it is a good consequence, you have to bear it, right? Even if, suppose you have done a lot of charity in this, in the previous birth, and now you have been born in a very rich family. By God's grace, you have a brilliant career and you are having a lot of money. Even to enjoy all that, you have to take a birth. Again, even in this birth, you keep doing a lot of charity. Even if the result is happiness, you have to come and bear that, undergo those consequences, favorable consequences. Even if there are some mistakes done by us, if there is by chance done, none of you will do mistakes deliberately. But if something has happened from us, a bad action has happened, the results of that also we will have to bear. So it is irrelevant whether it was a good action, bad action, mishrit action, whatever you have done, you have to bear the consequences. But this is relevant only to those who have not been able to give up on the phalatyag, atyagi. For a sannyasi, who is sannyasi? Not a one with orange clothes and like that. No, the sannyasi here means who has given up on the results of the action. So he has done it and not bothered about what is going to come to me. Done the action, forgotten it there, taking life as it is. That kind of person, these three things are not relevant. Why? Because he has already given up on the result. See, what is not fine, I am not going to, bear any results of it. He will live through his karma, he will live through the results, and because he is not attached to what is coming to him, he is going to be liberated from this world. That is here. Now, here when the word sannyasi is being used, it is not in terms of the external appearance or this, it is from the conscious mind. In your mind, how attached are you for the actions. For instance, now there is a new trend of rewards being returned and all that. So giving up on the fruits doesn't mean you go and return your rewards. Okay, so I've given a trophy and now I decide, no, I'm not going to be attached to this and go and give it. No, that is not. From within, you should not be attached that, oh, I'm an achiever of that great reward. That feeling has to go. So inside, within you, your internal conscience should be free of the result. So it's very important that your inside, your antarang, your mind should be how? Pure. It should be free of all these dosh. Whatever is coming to me, irrespective of that, we just continue doing the actions. That is that is how a sannyasi or yogi are expected to behave. Now, because ultimately it is a result of the karma. For any task or karma to happen, there are 5 things Sri Krishna says which are very important. The person needs 5 things for any. So we all are sitting here in this room and attending the Vivechan sessions, listening to Vivechan, understanding discuss in 18th chapter. For any project, any action to undergo, there are what 5 things which Shri Krishna says are very important. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame sankhi kritante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. There are 5 things which Shri Krishna says everybody has to understand. For any task to be accomplished, these 5 things are important. What Shri Krishna says, Nibodhame, I am telling you. So listen, what? Sarva karmanam siddhaye, for accomplishment of all the tasks, etani pancha karanani kritante. There are 5 things. There are 5 basic essential things which are essential for what? Completion of any task. What are these and where are these mentioned? Shri Krishna says in the Sankhya Darshan, that there it is mentioned. What are those 5 things? Now, we don't have time to read all the Sankhya Darshan and all, isn't it? None of us has time. Most of us don't even have the intellect to go through all that. So just read one Bhagavad Gita and we can get the fruits of what? Understanding the Sankhya Darshan, understanding the scriptures. So that is the beauty of learning and studying Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. So what Shri Krishna says, what are these 5 things as mentioned in the Sankhya Darshan? As mentioned in this, I'm telling you the 5 reasons are Adhishthānam tatha karta karanaincha prathagvidham vividhascha prathak cheshta daivanchaivatra panchamam. 14th slok, what he says, Adhishthānam, that's the first one. Tatha karta, karta is the second one. Karanain, that's the third one. Karanai cha prathak vidham vividhascha prathak cheshta, cheshta is the fourth one. And devain chaivatra panchamam, daiva, this is the 5th one. Let us go through it one by one. Adhishthānam, what is Adhishthānam? The body in which we all live. Now we all are sitting and discussing chapter 18. How we are discussing? I am talking from my mouth, you are listening by ear. Why? Because we have a body. Unless and until this body is there, can we accomplish anything? No. So this body or this is basically kshetra, area we have seen in the 13th chapter also. So its body, this kshetra is the one which is the first important thing. Second is the karta, means the one who is doer. The task is done by the body. Okay, who is the doer? The one who keeps saying, I am the one who is doing, I am doing it. That is the doer, karta. Who is a karta? That we have seen in the 3rd chapter, 13th chapter also. Who is the karta? Who is the actual doer? There is a atma, we all know. And a part of that which is attached with the body, the jivatma, because of its closeness to the body, it is termed as the karta. Because why it is attached to the body, it is considered as the karta. And when the atma is being converted to the jivatma is the doer of everything. So doer is the karta. What is the 3rd thing Shri Krishna tells which is important? Karanam. Karanam means instruments of doing, the means. All the sense organs, karan, upakaran, eyes to see. Now to see better, the specs I have to use. So upakaran, karana is eyes, upanetra, upakaran is the specs. So karan, upakaran, all those that we need are the instruments to achieve certain things. That is the 3rd important thing. What is the 4th thing? Cheshta. Cheshta means efforts. Unless and until we make an effort to do something, nothing is going to happen. See, you all have made an effort to click on the Zoom link, sit here and attend a Vivechan session. That effort is the 4th important thing. And Daiva, that everybody knows. That is destiny, fortune. I wanted to do certain things, but unfortunately such and such things happen. Certain things happen due to fortune, some happen due to misfortune. We all understand. This is the 5th thing. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Say we have a farm. Okay. Now the farmer, what is the intent of this entire activity of farming? That in the farm, we have the trees or the plants have to grow, crops have to grow. The farm is the adhisthana. That is the place where the action is going to be taking place. Who is the karta? The farmer is the karta of this. What are the karana? Karana is the means of farming. The plow will be there, the bullock carts will be there, tractor nowadays, who uses bullock cart? All these will be the karana. Then cheshta, the effort that the farmer is going to put into doing the farming is the cheshta. And then daiva, after doing all these things nicely, after putting all these things in place, assume that it rains untimely. It's been happening so often these days, isn't it? Untimely rains happen. That is what daiva. We'll all complain about it. Or if the plant had at the right time that rain comes, it is sudaiva, good fortune, that at the right time the rains came and we had a good harvest, isn't it? So this is how the entire thing happens. Now, one thing we have to understand, there are 5 things that Shri Krishna told, out of which the last was daiva. We have to understand this also. To be able to leave the detachment, this is very important that first we understand this daiva, the destiny. Daiva is only 1/5 of the it has only 1/5 contribution in accomplishing any task. So sometimes what happens, we will say, I was just unfortunate. See, some good things happen, we'll be so happy. See, I ran a big, huge business, but because of my misfortune, I lost it. In that, we don't assume the other 4 characteristics at all. Then when something is sailing, we'll immediately put it on the misfortune, on the daiva. That for this daiva, for this destiny to be correct, Swamiji tells our karma kand. What is the karma kand? Daily sadhana, daily puja, daily. This is a remedy to what? The daiva. It can rectify, it can correct. See, if there is some, see, why do we get this misfortune? It is actually a result, or it's an accumulation of our past karmas, whatever. Okay, we can bring it down by doing good amount of sadhana, by doing good actions. So, and also by doing puja and then nitya sadhana. These are the remedies to rectify this daiva. We should all, to rectify this destiny, we should all try to improve. We should all try to make an effort to improve this daiva and not just blame it all the time. So, all these inclusive, these 5 things are important. And using these 5 things as a basis, the tasks will be done in our lives. Now, people create a lot of mess among the daiva. We have to understand and we have to improve it. Now, this not only applies to an individual, even to an organization. See, Geeta Parivar started the classes of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. So this thought came. Then this entire organization, it will also have these 5 things. It will also have adhishthan. It will also have kartas. We all are kartas here. It will also have karan. These computers, these all things that we use, these are the karan. And then what was cheshta? Everybody is in making an effort. The sadhaks are making an effort to come to the classes, taking so much pains to learn and regularly attend classes and learn shlokas. The trainers, texts, entire whole 34, more than 30-35 teams are working for the success of this. All they are making, that is the cheshta efforts. And we also have blessings of Swamiji. That is the daiva that we all have for the successful running of this entire Learn Geeta project. So at an individual level also this works. This also works at an organizational level. This is called Vyashti and Samyashti. We will not go into those details for now. So all these tasks, they need 5 things. Shri Krishna further elaborates, Sharira Vang Mano Bhiryat Karma Prarabhati Naraha Nyayam Va Viparitam Va Panchaite Tasya Hetavaha. All the tasks that are done by body, speech, and mind. Okay, Sharira is body. Vangmai, it is speech, and Mana, our mind. Using these 3 things, all the tasks are done. See, remember how important you can correlate. In the 17th chapter, Sri Krishna has also talked about 3 types of tap. You'll remember Sharirik tap. Shariran tapa uchyate. Go through those shlokas. Vangmaya tap, mansik tap. We have to understand that tap so that we can improve our karmas, because these 3 things are important, and to rectify, to improve these 3 things, that path has been expressed in the 17th chapter. And whatever has been told there should be essentially followed. Why? Because these 3 things are karma prarabhate naraha. These are the things which will which inspire, which start the karma, which start all types of tasks. Now, there are 2 different, types, 2 different things. What if this is not done? What if we don't improve our sharirik tap, vangmaya tap, mansik tap? If they don't do this, if all these are not sattvic, sharira vang mano viriyat, if these are not sattvic, what will happen? There are 2 types of fruits. Either it can be nyayam va viparitam va. Nyayam, actions recommended or prescribed by our scriptures. What is appropriate to do, that can be done. Or else, if it is not followed, and all these 3 are not driven by sattvic gun, what will happen? We will end up doing actions which are prohibited by scriptures, which are viparita. Nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavaha. So, along with these 5 that we spoke about in the previous shloka, along with that, Sharira, Vangmayano, Viryat, all these 3 also together will give you 2 types of things. Nyayam va viparitam. Any of these will happen for both, whether the result is favorable or unfavorable. These 5, panchaite tasya hetava, these 5 are responsible for that also. For all these 5 are responsible for the actions to be as per scriptures or not according to the scriptures. Let us understand this short in brief. There are some people, who don't want to do good for the society. Somebody, suppose, running a bomb factory. Okay, bombs they are building. They will also need these 5 things to do. And for great tasks like what Learn Geeta is doing, they will also have these 5 things. Whether the ultimate thing that you want to achieve is whether it is along with, in line with the scriptures, or prohibited by the scriptures. So in both cases, these 5 elements are important. Okay, but all these 5 elements that we spoke, are they a part of us? Are they a part of us? They are part of Prakriti. We have seen this in the 13th chapter. These are actually a part of Prakriti. They have got nothing to do with the Atma that is sitting beside us. But what Shri Krishna says, these 5 things are doing the actions, responsible for actions which are either good or bad. All is depending on these 5 things. But what people start believing, that Atma is only the karta, he is only the doer. So Shri Krishna explains further, Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalantu yaha pashyatya krita buddhitvan nasa pashyati durmatihi. Though Atma is not among those essentials, see, we have mentioned the 5 things, Adhisthana, Karta, Karanam, and Cheshta and Daiva. These are the 5 things. In that, did anybody mention Atma or Jivatma? No. So it is not an essential component for completing the task. But what we say, I have done the task. You are nowhere in the picture in these 5 elements, isn't it? But we'll say, I did the task. I was the one to propose it. I have completed. So we are set on a path. Now we all are spiritual seekers. We are trying to understand why this confusion comes, that I'm trying to explain. We are all trying to understand, who am I? Then that answer, with limited knowledge also, everybody will understand that I am Atma. Why I'm saying limited knowledge? Because Shri Krishna is saying, Akrita buddhitvan, the third charan. Pashyatya krita buddhitvan, with the limited knowledge, when we only have read only half of the second chapter and not rest of the Bhagavad Gita, we will know that we are Atma. So we will start saying, who am I? I am the Atma. I am doing the job, so Atma is doing all the job. That is half understanding. Atma itself is the doer, we start believing. That is Atmanam Kartaram Pashyati. That's what Shri Krishna is saying. They are thinking that the doer is who? The Atma. But this is pure lack of knowledge. It is Agyan. So, for instance, if you light a lamp, now suppose it's basic task like, just studying. And what will you do? You light the lamp and start reading your books. Does that mean that your action of studying is being done by the light? No. Is light responsible? See, when you're cooking under the light of the lamp, all the actions are happening. When the sun rises, the entire Srishti is coming into existence. Under the light of the sun, the entire Srishti is working. But is he the one actually doing all these tasks? No, everything is happening under the prakash of that sun or the lamp in our houses, etc. Similarly, all the tasks that are accomplished by this body are done under the light, under the enlightenment of the Atma, but Atma itself is not the doer. Definitely, see, until and unless we have that Chetna, that Prakash within us, our body is just a body. It is not capable of, living. But once we have that light in us, only under its light we are doing certain work, but it is not the doer. That light itself is not the doer. So the entire credit of actions happening is that of Prakriti and not of the Atma. The same thing Shri Krishna has also explained in the third chapter. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Because of the lack of knowledge, people start believing that Atma itself, because of the ahankar, because of the misidentification, we end up thinking ourselves as karta. Ourselves means the Jivatma is karta. So what is the correct vision? That Shri Krishna tells in the next shloka. Yasya nahankrato bhavo buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa imallokan nahanti na nibadhyate. Now this is a little serious topic. You have to understand properly. Slightly serious thing Shri Krishna is telling here. Yasya nahankrato bhavo. Bhavo. So here it is because of the Visarga Santi bhava. Yasya ahankrataha na bhava. I am does not have a person who does not have that ego of being the doer, no egoistic notion, that kind of person. And buddhir yasya na lipyate, whose intellect is not tainted, is not influenced by anything. That kind of person has, he will not be attached to the feeling of being a doer. How this? Let's try to understand it with an example. This we have also discussed in the previous session. The jallads, or the hangman in the jail. Now, to him, he doesn't, he's not attached to his work. This we have discussed earlier. If he goes on the road and kills anybody, then he is accountable to be punished. But when the same task he is doing inside a jail, he is not entitled to punishment. Why? Because there he is not that is his job there, and there he is not having that ego that I am doing it because it is under the judgment of whoever is the judge he has given. And buddhir yasya lipti, he is not going to put his intellect into whether it is a correct judgment or not. So today if he is told this person has to be hanged, tomorrow all of a sudden they change the person, say not this one, hang the other person. In that case he is not going to put his brain into not this, not that, whatever is being told, he will do. So even though it is, even if he's slaying somebody there, Hatva pise imal loka, he is not bound. Na hanti, it is equivalent to not slaying, and he is not bounded by that action. For instance, another very important example you can think about is, say, the soldier on our borders. He is, if he sits and keeps thinking like Arjun, oh, I am going to kill this. Hey, because there is no buddhiryasya na lipite. He is not attached. His intellect is not attached to that person. So he will go ahead and do his duties properly. At the same time, how is the other person? Suppose a doctor, he is a surgeon, say, some patient comes, he'll very nicely, without any thinking, he'll quickly do the surgery. But tomorrow, if he has to do the surgery of his own son, he'll think, oh, that because his buddhi, his intellect is attached, it is now tainted by what? The love for his own son. It is tainted by affection for his own son. He'll say, oh, this is difficult for me to do. Let's call somebody else to, go ahead and do this. So that thing will come for their own relative. Similarly, so when Shriram was killing all the asuras to, protect the Rishi Munis, he is not going to be tainted by them, because he is not killing them or hurting them out of anger towards them or out of hatred towards them. He is doing it because it is his duty to protect the Brahmins, to protect the Rishi Munis. A soldier is not getting the, pap of doing that action of killing the enemies, because it is his duty to protect his citizens. So none of them are killing due to hatred. In that case, they are na hanti na nibaddhite. They don't get bound to the action of killing also. So when there is a discretion, a correct intellect that is awakened in us, then we are not bound by that action of slaying, not bound by that action. Na hanti, na nibaddhyate. And our Swamiji says a very beautiful thing. Such intellect, such awakening will come by study of Mahabharata, he always tells. And Jnaneshwar Maharaj also said the same thing. He says this Mahabharata as the Vivek Taru ka Udyan. So that's a garden of trees of intellect. So this kind of study we have to do, the entire Mahabharata we can't study. We are studying a very important part of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. This intellect should be developed amongst us. So we have to, this entire confusion is around what? Karma. We have to free ourselves from the side effects. We say side effects of the karma. To understand that, how to free ourselves from these side effects, Shri Krishna has given a very nice step-by-step guide. Just few minutes I'll take to more. I know the time is a little bit tight, but yeah, so he has given us a step-by-step guide to achieve this freedom from the side effects of karma. Shri Krishna says there are three important sources of inspiration to do any task that a person wants to do. It will be under the inspiration to do any task comes from three things. What are those things? Jnanainiyam parijñātā trividhā karma chodhana karanam karma kartiti trividhā karma sangraha. Very important. The three things that inspire any action are what? Jnanai. First, jnanam. First is knowledge. Jnaya, to know something. There is something which is worth knowing, so knowable thing. And the parijñātā, the knower of it. Okay, the one who is wanting to know, the knower. These are the three sources. So suppose now we all come to Geeta classes, isn't it? We are trying to understand the Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. So there is something which is worth knowing, which is, becoming our, which is becoming the source of our actions of coming to the classes. And so these are the three things which are going to inspire any action. Now, just knowledge of something is going to inspire. Suppose you come to know what is a, pizza. Suppose I come from a place which is not very popular for pizzas. All of a sudden I come to I see Domino's. Oh, there is something called pizza which is here. Then now that is the knowledge, that there is this thing called pizza. Then Nyayam, it is I want to know that. So what is happening? That is that drive is there to know that. And Parignata, I have become the knower. Now till here, these are just the sources of inspiration that I want to know this. So karma chodana, the word chodana here means inspiration. So they are just inspiring me to do what? Understand what is that pizza thing. So these three together are internal to a person. And when they transpire into an action, they become what? Karana. Karana means an instrument to do something. So what I will do, I'll take out my vehicle and I will start going towards the shop. Then it will be Karana. Karma, going and visiting and trying to understand what that entire item of pizza is. And Karteti, who is doing, the Karta is doing it. What happens? Jnana, Jneya, Paridhyata, the knowledge, the knowable, and the knower. These are the three things. Knowledge is jnana, jneya, which is worth knowing, knowable, and parijnata, the knower, the one who wants to know, basically in this case. These are internal things. This is responsible for what? These three are responsible for karma chodana, that is inspiring to work. Actual work is still not done. So suppose you were sitting with your friend and your friend is a sadhak in Learn Geeta. He told, hey, you know what? There are these classes going on. Come join with me. So all of a sudden you understood about their program learngeeta.com. That is jnana. Now you want to know more about it. That is jneya. And then you think, oh, I should also enroll. Then you become a parignyata. But that is just an inspiration in you here till it is internal. Now you go and click the register.learngeeta.com link, reg.learngeeta.com. When you do that, then you are doing the actual work. Now you will use some instrument to do that. That will be the karana. And who is the karta? You are the karta. So what is happening? Parijnata becomes the karta. Who? The knower becomes the karta. The jnana, what you have trying, that becomes the means to understand, is becoming the karana. And the jneya, what you are trying to understand, what in Bhagavad Gita you are trying to understand, that becomes your karma. So the internal things mentioned in the first charan become the external thing. Karana, karma, karteti, trivida, karma, sangraha. So that total becomes a collection of karma. And what Shri Krishna tells further, jnanam karma cha karta cha. Now these six things together have become three things because internal, external together they mix and the task will be done. When that task is done, there are three things: jnana, karma, and karta. These three things. Tridhaiva guna bhedataha. Jnanam karma cha karta cha tridhaiva guna bhedataha. Prochyate guna sankhyani. Yathavat shrunutanyaphi. Very, very important. So these three things now are going to be together a collection and it will totally become our karma. So each of them, Tridhaiva Guna Bhedata. So the Jnana also is of three types: Jnana, Sattvic Jnana, Rajasi Jnana, and Tamasi Jnana. Karma will be of three types: Tridhaiva Guna Bhedata. Karta will also be of three types. All these three are going to be of three types, which Shri Krishna is going to explain further. That what Shri Krishna says, Prochate Guna Sankhyane. I am going to tell you this three gunas, how they are. Yathavat Shrunutanyapi. So you try to listen to that. And Kramasha, in a sequence, first Shri Krishna tells about the Sattvic knowledge, which is very important. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajnanam vitti satvikam. What is satvik jnana? Very important shlok. This knowledge, the satvik knowledge, it is a gift from our country, our Bharat, to the entire world. This is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And all people, in all the living things, in all the things around the world, there is one avyaya tattva. Bhava mavyayam ikshate. Ikshate means able to see that oneness. So a person staying in Singapore might be looking different from how we Indians look, but amongst us, the basic tattva is same, avyaya, advitiya, because everybody is same. That one tattva is same. So there is a one beautiful example. So in our in Maharashtra, there was a big saint, a very popular saint, Gajanan Maharaj. How they see this oneness in everybody, so much their that vision of oneness is so much inculcated in them, and in their yoga also. Once some kids, they were naughty, and they were trying to they were trying to whenever they were pained, here Swamiji would also be pained. That oneness they could see amongst all the beings. Similar, this thing is a very common thing in the saints. Ramakrishna Thakurji's story, we have, many of you might have heard. He had cancer. When he was not in a position to eat certain things, he used to say, you all are eating, so when you all are eating from your mouths, I am also eating. That sense of oneness, bhava mavya nikshate, that is the satvik jnana. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. So even though they are different, avibhakta, there is no difference in their perception. For them, everything is appearing the same. Tat jnanam is, you understand, Arjun, that knowledge is what? Satvik jnana. Then what happened? The second one is the Rajasa Jnana. Prathaktvena tu yajñānan nānā bhāvān prathakvedhān vetti sarveshu bhūteshu tajñānam vitti rājasam. What is the Rajasa Jnana? The one which is based on distinctions. How our new science will teach things to children. Living things, non-living things. This is the animal kingdom, that is the plant kingdom. They are being taught to see things in a distinctive way. But what we all, asked recently, you might have heard a pratna. It is our Swamiji has given. Abheda Bhakti Dedo Ram. When we ask, what he is asking, a vision of seeing everything in a non-distinct way. I want to see oneness in all people. That is what we ask for. But the Rajasi Jnana is what which shows you to see a distinction in everything. In our scriptures, there is a very popular shlok. Ayam nijah paro veti ganana laghu chetasam. This is mine, that is yours, this is not mine. This kind of vision is of whom? Laghu chetasam, the one with limited intellect. But udara charitanantu, the ones who have a magnanimous mind, a big heart, for them vasudhaiva kutumbakam, for them the entire world is a big family. So this kind of attitude is in the Satvik Jnana. However, the Rajasi Jnana is based on what? The distinction of the different, living creatures, the distinction between them. That is Rajasi Jnana. And the third category, it is actually not even considered as Jnana at all. It is Yattu Kritsnavade Kasmin Karye Saktamahaitukam Atatvarthavadalpaicha Tattamasamudaritam. What is Tamasi Jnana? It is considering as if this body itself is whole. I don't care what is around. This only one single stuff. My body is my own. That is the only thing that is important. As if this one body is the whole thing, and it is attached without any reason. Atatvartha vadalpaincha. There is no logic behind whatever is being done. Without foundation, there are no principle, no foundation in truth. A narrow-minded approach towards everything is a tamasa jnana. So we'll see more clarity on these three things, and then in a sequence we will also see about what is sattvic karta, rajasi karta. All these three things we'll also know about jnana, karma and karta in more detail from the next session. I'm extremely sorry, apologetic about the delay in the session. I'm really sorry. With this, I offer entire today's discussion at the feet of Shri Krishna and Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj. May they enlighten us for our further journey. Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Mala Devi.
Yeah. That was an enlightening session, Didi, and you dealt in detail in your sweet voice, melodious voice, which is really music to our ears, and in simple words. We can just go on hearing. I don't think we have delayed much, but still, yeah. Any task can be done with three ways of inspiration: Jnanam, Jneyam, and Parijnanam. That is knowledge, knowable, and knower to do a task. Thank you, Didi, for your wonderful interpretation. I think I have to hear your interpretation many, many, many times to understand the whole thing, but still a simple, I've just given a summary, that's it. So we would be seeing more of this in coming sessions. Now it's time for question and answer. I request those who want to ask questions to raise their hands and switch on their cameras and wait for their turn. Please make the questions precise so that more questions can be taken.
Thank you, Mala Devi. Now we have Jaya Ji. Yeah. See, Jai Shri Krishna, Jaya Devi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Shraddha. See, we were talking of sattvic this thing. Is it wrong to have likes and dislikes? As human beings, we are born with the nature of liking something, disliking something. So when whole life is spent like that, how does God expect us to leave everything and just do? Without any like, dislike, and if Atma is not doing, then why we have to pay for being wrong, for the wrongs, or for the rights? Suppose I give up the fun, then I should not pay for the wrongs also. I don't want the fruit of the fun. Suppose there is sweet is called fruit and something bitter is pap. I don't want sweet also. You don't give me bitter also. So some action is fetching me fruits, some action giving me punishment. My Atma has not done anything. Don't give me both. I don't want both. So I am mukta, no?
See, no matter your Atma has not done anything, but we are attached to this. See, just when you begin the question, you said the likes and dislikes. Having that choice itself, what Shri Krishna is saying, having that choice itself is not desirable, because when it is your karma, you cannot like a certain thing, you cannot dislike a certain thing. That itself is detachment, and because we are not able to do that, we are. See, this is entire thing we have discussed in the 13th chapter also. Our Atma, the Jivatma within us is so attached to the body that it starts behaving. Now we'll have that affinity towards the worldly things. We'll have affinity towards things. So ultimately, we end up, it will have more desires, and it will be stuck in that vicious circle of life and death, fulfilling more actions, fulfilling more desires. Then that chakra of desire and action continues. But if we do not keep that choice, I like it, I dislike it. If we don't keep that preference, I want to do this, I want to do that. If we don't keep that difference, it will be easier to keep ourselves detached.
Then we will detach from Bhagavad-Gītā classes. I love Shri Krishna. I want his love. So I am attached and putting more and more so that he will come closer and closer.
So while getting attached to the Bhagavad Gita classes, what is going to happen? You will understand how to live your life more happily, more. See what happens, because we like something and we dislike something. Are you giving up on the feeling of being happy with something and being unhappy with something? We are not giving up on that, right? So means you're saying I don't want the fruit. You cannot not want the fruit. First thing, that is itself wrong. You're saying I'm not the kasi. Interpretation should not be for our convenience. Interpretation is what you have done. Shri Krishna is not saying that you will be giving up on the fruits of the actions itself. No, that is never going to happen. What is going to go? Your attachment to that fruits. Okay, so if you say I will eat sweets and I will not get the fruit of that sweet, no,
I will
you have
not.
eaten sweets. No matter whether you want or not, it is going to have an impact on the body.
No,
कर्म
no.
किया है तो उसका फल मिलने ही वाला है. That is always going to happen. You cannot say I don't want the fruit. It is not as per my liking, as per my dislike. I don't want the fruit. That's never going to happen. How to remain detached from that fruit? That is what Bhagavad Gita is telling.
Now
When
for me,
you are
the fruit is Shri Krishna.
fruit is not Shri
Only.
Krishna,
So I
Didi.
joined
No,
Bhagavad
no,
Gita
no, no.
without knowing Hindi. I
No,
learned
no.
Sanskrit. Now I'm hell bent.
No, Didi, understand.
Bhagavad
The
Gita.
fruit is not Shri Krishna. See, we are born as human beings. We have 3 rins on us. Okay, we have to Pitra rin and what our society has given. We have to first fulfill all that. We have to fulfill all our karma. Then you talk about liberation. There is no liberation without doing your karma. And by doing your karma, you are going to get karma phala. Unless you renounce that you give up on the attachment with that fruit, you cannot even talk about liberation. We can't say I will keep doing anything and I'll get. No, that doesn't happen. Whatever little you are doing, you're going to bear the results of it. You should not be attached attached to those results and continue doing what is your dharma. Eventually, when we are free from these 3 runs that we have, and then ultimately, see, it's a long journey. It doesn't happen in one birth. Whatever because of your past good karmas, you are here learning Bhagavad Gita. Because of the good karmas that we are doing here, our next janam we'll have some more good karmas, and this cycle will continue. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says after so many crores of births, he has become Shri Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and liberation is a very far-fetched goal for us. We have to understand. So we should not
What is it then? Sometimes
Just
it
keep
puzzles
doing.
me.
See, one by
That's
one,
what I do.
inculcate these small things one by one in our lives. When Shri Krishna is telling how not to be very attached with the foods, how very step by step, even if you understand this chapter, step by step, he is telling what is. Now we saw in a little hurry we saw, but again we'll see that in the next session. How to we have to understand 2 things: pravrittincha and nivrittincha. What we should be going in and what we should stay away from. We have to understand that knowledge. Once we understand, we will be able to decide how to live the world and how to leave the world. Our Swamiji always says it is the art of not just living but also leaving the world. So after we understand all that, only we'll reach the next stage, and liberation is a far-fetched goal. We have to reach there very, very gradually. We can't just jump and say tomorrow I don't want a fruit and God.
With this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, no, attachment has reduced. Maya, Mamta reduced.
Very nice.
But that is hurting the family. They feel ye kya pagal jaisa all
We
the time
have
Bhagavad
to,
Gita
there has
karte
to
hain.
be a balance. We cannot say if it is hurting the family means there is something wrong in the
They are
way we
never
are
satisfied.
thinking.
They want everything. But I have to live for my life, or whole life I have lived for everybody. I never thought of what I want. So I have spoiled my
So
health.
that is your niyata karma. Then we have to do that niyata karma without thinking about today only we saw niyata karma. If you give up for something,
I am doing whatever needed. Niyata karma I am doing. Extra they want to play with this and talk with it. That is not, you want to socialize, you socialize. I don't want to socialize. My society is here on the Zoom. Then they disagree. Why should I agree all the time with their choice?
Yeah, these things are very small things. When we see
Yeah,
them
these things
as
come in
us,
the way. I just got an example. How to
Now,
handle such a
see,
situation.
when there is any opposition, we have to understand हम लोगों का how should our way of thinking be. They are us. They are not different from us, right? We cannot say there has to be a middle way to it. They are us. They are not different from us. When they are not different from us, our we are in some way we are related. We have a responsibility towards them. How you fulfill that responsibility and then continue with your likes and dislikes, that is
Brother,
also
the
important.
two
We
ends.
should be
Like the Hanuman Jayanti I was attending, my son was saying, still going on Hanuman Jayanti and banging
that
the
is
door.
okay. You do
How
see,
to be okay?
fulfill
I
your
feel
duties.
hurt.
You should not get hurt. That is what it is the samatva. See, what is Shri Krishna talking about is samatva. You should stay away from these feelings of happiness and sadness. And one very important thing in 12th chapter, sukha dukkha, in both cases, tulya nindatma, whether somebody is doing your ninda or in that, you have to achieve that samatva. When we achieve that, then only we are going to. So one by one, we should think. If somebody is saying that, why am I getting hurt? I have to change that. That hurting, that samatva has to come. Once that samatva comes with, see, everything in one day, this is not an overnight process, Jayaji. It is going to happen only step by step. It is not going to be an overnight process. We have to understand that. And then fulfill our things, isn't it? Everything together is not going to happen overnight. It is going to be a gradual process. Ji,
I am
Chandrakant Bhaiya.
changing and that is not favorable.
Chandrakant Bhaiya. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
My question is actually very small, trivial. I just want to understand while doing the niyat karma, say puja archana, at the puja attire, I see the small ant or cockroach or sometime and I kill it. So on one side I am trying to do the puja, regular niyat karma, sandhya vandana, and on the other side I am killing the animal, small creature, just to avoid that it will go on to this one.
We
So what
are
is
not
my
entitled.
condition?
We should not kill any other creature, come what may. There is always, even if it is mosquitoes, without killing them also you can drive them away. During your puja, when you are seeing the God whom you are worshipping, the same small ounce of that God is existing in that ant also. How difficult is it to just pick it up and put it aside so that it doesn't come in the way of your puja? That is so when we are doing niyata karma, how we are doing niyata karma, that is also important. So we have to understand that while we are doing niyata karma, the other things are also done in a correct way. We should, so if that ant comes, what is the best possible way to handle that ant with doing minimum damage to it? That samatva, what I was telling, we should be the same pain that we get, one small prick, if that ant comes and bites you, you will get pain. You are killing that ant, so much pain it will undergo. We have to understand that some way now, that thing we should have. Then only you will not be even inspired to kill the ant. When you understand it from an ant's perspective, that samatva, that what we were talking about, the jnana of avya, that everything has the same tattva. The ant is also me. The same tattva is in me also. The same tattva is in that ant also. When we get that vision, we will not do this act of killing the ant.
The correlated question to this, thank you very much for the first part of explanation. The correlated question in my mind was whether my puja or karma phal will be imparted to that ant and its life will emerge from the yoni of ant to the higher yoni.
That depends on the karma of the ant. It is not dependent on you. What that ant has done in its past karma, it will depend on that. It has got nothing to do. Your karma stays with you. Ant's karma will stay with it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking at the time of puja, Nimitta, during this, she got killed. So maybe my savings will be imparted to her for her upliftment.
No. Your savings will be imparted or not, that is a different thing. Ant has its own savings, you have your own saving. So suppose if I go bankrupt, I give, it is not like that, it doesn't work. Your account is your account, its account is its account. Okay.
Okay.
Ji.
Dhanyavad. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Chandrakanta. Mamta Didi.
जय श्री कृष्ण दीदी।
Jai Shri Krishna.
15 अध्याय में पंचैतस्य हेतवः, इसका मतलब थोड़ा जानना चाहती हूँ।
Panchaite tasya hetava. These 5 things Shri Krishna has told. Okay. Shari, before this, adhishthanam tatha karta. These 5 things, adhisthana, karta. You understood that part? There are 5 things. Adhisthana means the body, karta, the doer, karanam, and cheshta, and daiva. These are the 5 things which are responsible for any actions. These, along with shariravang manobhiryat, with these, sharir means your body, your speech, and your mind, along with these, all the tasks are being done. Whether these tasks, see, what is the ultimate aim of these tasks? These could be nyayam va viparitam va. Okay, which it could be good or it could be bad, no matter what it is. All the tasks are panchaite tasya hetava, means all the tasks are depending on the 5 things that are being told in the 14th shlok. So 14th and 15th you can see are connected. In the the 5 things that are mentioned in the 15th shloka are actually those listed in the 14th shlok. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Ji, Malini Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Didi, I just wanted to know this. There is a word in shlok number 17 which says Imal Lokan. What does that mean?
Iman Lokan. See, there is a sandhi there, Didi. Hatva pisa Iman Lokan. So, Iman Lokan, these people. So even if you see where Bhagavad-Gītā is happening in the battlefield. So even if you kill these people, Iman Lokan, these people, Lokan is a different word, Iman is a different word because of the sandhi that anunasik law that you are seeing that is happening there. Hatva pisa Iman Lokan na hanti na nibadyate. Iman Lokan na hanti.
Hanti na nibadyate. Okay, thank you, Didi. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I think that is the end of questions. Anyone? I don't think any hand raises, so I think we'll close the function. Yeah. So, Didi, it was a wonderful question answering session, and regarding killing of ants, I think always it comes, but it was a very beautiful explanation you give. Ashubhaya always says that we should not kill and we can just remove it. So that was we all face with this, in our day-to-day life, we face all these things, and it was great. And thank you. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, Didi, for clearing the doubts of our sadhakas. On behalf of Geeta Parivar and myself, I extend sincere thanks to the technical team consisting of Surekha Mittalji and all those who have been at the backstage for their relentless and efficient efforts in making the session a great success. May I take this opportunity to thank all those who attended this session. Please do continue your Geeta Sadhana and attend these sessions to enrich your spiritual knowledge. I also request all those who are not giving any seva as per their, in the Parivar, to give some seva as per their ability. Please do watch Geeta Sevi program in YouTube to know the various kinds of seva that you can do. Now, it's time for Samapan Prarthana. I request Shefali Jindalji from Orissa for Samapan Prarthana. She is a homemaker, a graduate in fine arts and a postgraduate in English. Her interests are in drawing, nature, and yoga. Shefali Didi joined Geeta Parivar in May 19 and is doing seva as tech. May we all seek the blessings of Shri Krishna. Shefali Didi, please.
Jai Shri Krishna to all. Jai Shri Krishna Didi. योगेशं सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। जय श्री कृष्ण टू ऑल।
Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Didi, for that rendition. May the knowledge gained today make our week ahead brighter and more beautiful. Please be there to recite Hanuman Chalisa after this. We shall see you back on another enlightening session next week. Till then, Jai Shri Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Ram. So good after listening to